What is that?
It's a shrink ray.
Have you lost your mind?
I'm going to shrink you.
There's no such thing as a shrink ray.
Well, I made a shrink ray. And
I know you made a toy. The science isn't there. You just can't just make a shrink ray. Welcome to You Gotta See This Movie, podcast of two guys who like to talk about movies as well as the deeper things that make these stories more than just a movie. Jim, how you doing?
I'm feeling great, feeling normal sized.
Feeling normal size, and so am I now.
Good.
So appreciate that. Jim, what is the movie that you gotta see?
The movie we gotta see is Joe Johnston's 1989 adventure movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm-hmm. The movie's about 4 neighborhood kids that accidentally get shrunk by their quirky scientist father. Kind of making this up as I go.
Oh, you're good.
He accidentally throws them away in the backyard, and now they have to take an adventurous trip through the backyard to get to the house, where they will hopefully get unshrunk.
Unshrunk, yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, in this podcast, we like to talk about movies, and that is the sort of thing you're into. Then please like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and let us know what you think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All right. So you said directed by Joe Johnston. He's your favorite director, right?
He's my favorite director.
Yeah, we just learned that in our top 5 favorite directors episode.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and check that out here, as I like to do it. I know we're not going to do that, but you know what I mean.
And then when they point and then somebody pops up on
it's
the
like
screen.
A video, yeah. But so, you know, like me, I like for my directors, I try to keep their movie catalog together.
Mm-hmm.
So like the rest of my vast movie collection is somewhat alphabetical, but like for my favorite directors, I have like my Spielberg section, my Tarantino section, my John Carpenter section. Do you have a Joe Johnston section?
No, my DVDs are still spread out in boxes. I had to hunt for my DVD. I'm going to build a cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I have a plan. I just got other projects first.
I tell you what, if you build this cabinet right, you could sell the blueprints, because I think there are people that would, because space.
Yeah, but it's more built into the house though versus like.
It's true.
Yeah, still working on that DVD jukebox idea.
Yeah.
Know?
It's called Netflix.
No, physical media. It's like a physical media jukebox. Well, how many like records does like a traditional jukebox machine hold?
I don't know.
Probably that's not nearly enough though.
Not nearly enough. No. Anyways, but so this is his first movie. Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
He did a good job.
He did a great job.
You know, for his first time actually taking the reins of a film.
Yeah.
Being the leader. So
yeah.
Disney knew his pedigree, did the Star Wars, did Indiana Jones, did a bunch of other little things. Special effects guy.
Yeah.
And said, we'll give it to you. So you know who the original director was supposed to be?
No.
So the writer, Stuart Gordon. Now, when I saw this movie, I guess I'll get into my backstory real quick. I saw this movie when I was 8 years old. You know, excited, movie theater. I remember seeing it with my mom and my sister. And middle of the day, summer, June 23rd, 1989 to be specific.
You actually have a date?
I do.
Why?
Well, I'll get into that later.
All right.
Actually, I don't think I saw it June 23rd, but it was around there.
Oh, okay.
I saw the movie, and it was a great time. But as I got older, I started paying attention to directors and writers and all that kind of stuff, and I did not know that this movie was written by Stuart Gordon. You know who he is?
I know the name.
Okay, Stuart Gordon. He is very famous for writing horror movies.
Oh,
he's a horror movie guy. He did Reanimator. My favorite one that he did was Dolls.
Okay.
Did you ever see the movie Dolls?
No.
It's about like a creepy house with all these like dolls that come to life and attack people. It's great. I have it. You can borrow it sometime.
Right. Well, that's kind of why I like this movie, because it's kind of like an old 50s,
right,
wacky sci-fi movie, like the
Yeah.
Shrinking Man, the 50-foot
this
woman.
guy, right? So this guy Stuart
Yeah.
Gordon, once he had kids of his own,
Yeah.
he wanted to kind of leave the horror genre and write something on his own, like something for kids.
Oh,
and then
okay.
he wrote it. Disney liked it. They said, okay, you're going to direct it. And then right before they started filming, he got sick
Oh.
and he had to drop out.
Oh, dang.
And Joe Johnston came in at the last minute and propelled his career, because there would be no Rocketeer if it wasn't for this film.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, he got that thing going. So, but anyway, you mentioned the whole like 50s stuff, because there's a lot of like horror, intense sci-fi-ness kind of wrapped in this film. You got a mad scientist, you got giant insects, creatures.
Yeah.
And it's pretty
Yeah.
gross things.
Yeah. Death.
There's
death. They
yeah.
could be eaten by ants and scorpions and
Yeah. So what's your background with this film?
I don't remember seeing it in the theater, but I remember seeing the Roger Rabbit short that came before it, because that was like a big thing.
It was a big thing. Yeah.
It was like, it's a Disney movie and they're going to do an opening. They're going to open it with a cartoon. And it was like, well, Roger Rabbit, it's a cartoon. This is really cool. So I do remember that. I do have a memory of seeing the Roger Rabbit cartoon. And that was cool. And then at that point, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll go watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But I didn't remember the film as much as
the cartoon.
The cartoon, yeah.
I can remember, being excited, because it's like, I'm going to see two things. I think the short was really short. It wasn't like it was a long movie, but you could only see it.
Yeah.
They weren't going to release it separately. You could only see it if you saw it with this movie.
Did you ever get it on VHS? Because I know they produced a VHS copy of 3 of those.
Yeah, this one was the tummy trouble.
Yeah. There was Roller Coaster Rabbit was one, and what was the other one? There was a third.
I don't remember. But yeah, I do remember those.
Maybe it was just the 2.
No, it was 3. It was 3.
Right?
It was 3. I remember it was a set of 3. But yeah, so Disney did that. Roger Rabbit was obviously very big back then, and they did not, from what I've read. Okay, this is I think I read this from the LA Times. This is what they think. So this movie they didn't think this movie was gonna do that well, so they needed kind of like that bringer to into this film. However, it was one of Disney's biggest live action movies to date at that time when it came out.
Roger Rabbit.
No, this movie.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah. So it surpassed in money making. But however, it opened number 2. Do you want to know what was number 1? This is why I remember this date.
Okay. I don't know.
The reason why LA Times said that the reason why they think that this movie did so well, it was like a great weekend for movies, was because everyone went to go see Batman. Michael Keaton.
The Michael Keaton, yeah.
Sold out. And then they're like, well, let's just watch this movie instead. They say it got the Batman boost because people were already coming to the theater. And again, this is the time where you can't pre-order tickets. You have to like go there. You have to get there, and I remember getting there I remember going to movies and be like, oh, sorry, sold out. Or all you have are the seats in the front. And you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I remember the movie being popular though.
Yeah.
Like people.
No, it did. Yeah. But that opening weekend
that gave it
was
the boost.
Huge. Got it the boost. And then now you're dealing with, hey, I actually went to go see the theater to go see Batman. Couldn't see Batman, but I saw this movie instead. It was actually really good.
It was pretty funny.
And it got, then it got bigger. But yes, that's why June 23rd, 1989, the day Batman came out. This came out the same day.
Oh, wait. So did you go to the theater to watch Batman?
Oh, yeah.
It was sold out.
No, I saw Batman.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I saw Batman first before I saw this. Yeah, I don't remember ever waiting because I just remember my parents taking me to go see Batman. Or my grandparents. So I probably was not like, I knew the date at the time, but I was so eager for Batman to come out. So yeah, there's no way I would have seen this before that.
Did you know this movie was not originally titled Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I did know that, actually.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Is that because I told you, or you read it
No,
somewhere?
I've actually knew before watching recently.
Oh,
I've always known what that movie is, and I think that's why we talked about how like in the movie he never says "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids."
yeah.
Because that was never the title when they were filming it. It was
Teeny Weenies.
Teeny Weenies.
Teeny Weenies.
Yeah. So that movie, that the title change didn't come out till
Teeny
later.
Weenies.
Yeah. So Rick Moranis, what do you think of him?
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Love that guy. He's funny. SCTV guy, right? Doing the movie thing now. And this was way before Ghostbusters, right? Or was it? When was Ghostbusters?
No, this was after
It
Ghostbusters.
was after Ghostbusters,
Yeah. This is
right?
actually after Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, dang.
Wait, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. But whatever. He's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the cast was great. And Marcia Strassman, is that her name? Mom?
The mom.
Yeah. Welcome Back Kotter lady.
Oh, that's right. Huh?
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember her from. Yeah.
The one guy other than Rick Moranis is the neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
Big Russ.
Yeah.
Matt Fewer. I know I'm butchering his name, but that guy's hilarious.
What's he from? Wasn't he like Max Headroom? Wasn't he that Max?
He was Max Headroom.
Yeah.
I
I've
actually
seen
got
him
to
on other
meet.
stuff.
I actually met that guy.
Really?
He did a movie in Vegas called The Stand, and I happened to be in Vegas with my family visiting. I got to see them film that scene, and I mean, when I say met, it was kind of like, hey, I'm in the crowd. And he came up to us and said, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's all like jacked up, radiation. But anyways, yeah, Matt Fewer, the neighbor, and I think straight off the bat, what I liked about this movie now as an adult, you really see the different family dynamics that are happening between these two families, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really like how they both kind of see each other doing weird things, and they kind of say like, man, this family's weird, or that family's weird. You know, like they're outsiders looking into what their families are doing. And I think like, you know, that this movie, what makes this movie really good are those tensions because there's two families, there's two brothers, a brother and a sister.
Right.
Okay. They don't get along with the neighbors too much. They also don't get along with each other. So essentially you got these 4 kids that are just kind of like getting put into this situation where they all have to work together.
Right.
And then not only that, but then you also got the parents.
Yeah.
That all have to eventually kind of like accept it and work together and doing these things. So I think that was really cool to see.
There's 2 different families, and you think, oh, well, this family's got it together because of this kind of family, and the other family's got it together but they both have problems. You have the scientist guy who's not connecting with his kids because he's so tied up in his work, and then you have the other dad who was involving his kids, but he's not really connecting with them because he's putting his own interests on the kids. So
yeah,
you've got that.
Yeah, you got the one dad that's like, hey, do whatever you want. And you got the other dad like, no, I'm going to tell you what you should do.
What you want, yeah. So neither one of them had it right.
No.
Yeah.
And then another thing, like as a kid, like I didn't pick up on this obviously, but I didn't understand the whole like the mom, they were getting ready to divorce. Like in the beginning of the movie, the mom's like, mom left, she took off. So here I am cooking breakfast for you two because mom's gone. She can't handle a dad anymore.
Wait, were they? I kind of question that because it's like, oh no, she's out of town selling a house.
She did, but that's not what happened. She says like, oh, mom and dad got into it last night. She stayed over her grandma's. So it was kind of like this whole other like subplot of like, yeah, took off. Like, I guess
I questioned it because she did talk about selling a house, like she was
yeah,
but she wasn't away selling a house. She was like,
yeah.
All right.
But no, that's where she went during the day. She's like, I'm gonna go, show a house.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Yeah.
She's probably like at this point the breadwinner, I guess, and so she's probably like doing all the work while he's up there tinkering around.
Yeah, he's tinkering around. His invention's going nowhere. She's working hard, and the house is a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's getting a little tired of it.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. And again, when I saw this movie at 8, I thought it was so cool, like getting shrunk and going through the backyard. And now as a dad, as a father, I'm like thinking how dangerous and like traumatic that would be to have to like go through your backyard all shrunk.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have thought that as a kid. As a kid, I'm like, dude, they're sliding down these giant blades of grass.
Yeah, because he's still walking around, right? They get shrunk and he's still walking around. I mean, he could easily just have squashed them at any moment, right?
Yeah. Especially when he was like on those, like he realizes like, crap, I can't.
Yeah.
But yet he gets on those stilts.
Yeah.
He can still smash them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think the thing that stuck out to me was the sets and like how they really, because a lot of times when you see like shrinking gags and on old movies, it's it's blue screen or the effects are really cheesy, but like the sets were really over the top. Like the floor, when you see them standing on the floor when they're tiny and all the grain and the nails and the dust and the bugs and I mean everything they went all out on everything.
Was realistic. It was like dirty.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, like when they get to the river, they called it. And I think they said it could be like dog pee, who knows.
Yeah.
But like it's dirty. It's not like, oh, like just a river of water in dirt. No, it was disgusting, like real muddy, dirty, nasty water would be.
The water was like thickened. Wasn't it like
I did notice that. Yeah, during the water
gross.
drops.
It was gross.
Yeah, it's probably that fluoride they put in the.
But I mean, what? Oh, could be. No, but would water really be thick at that
level?
Level?
Maybe surface tension.
I don't know. Maybe it's more or less when they're walking, and it does a better job of showing.
That was gross though, especially when like she's like she almost drowns.
But like I'm trying to think like. When you would see like an older movie and they would use a model and they'd light the model on fire.
Yeah.
You can tell that the fire is the wrong size.
Yeah, it's out of scale.
Right? So I think if they were to do that with the water, they had to make the water look big. And so they probably thickened it.
Oh, I guess it makes
to make it look bigger.
The droplets look.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it does work.
That's a crazy attention to detail.
Yeah, it does work because the droplets wouldn't. They would scatter or splatter in small, tiny droplets.
They wouldn't be droplets for them. The droplets had to be bigger.
They had to be big, yeah.
And it's practical effects, man. It wasn't.
Yeah. It worked. It was gross though.
It was gross.
It was like kind of nasty.
Yeah.
You think, oh, we're small, yay, let's play in the water. And it's like, no, it's like slimy water.
Yeah. It had that dead bug in it, and
yeah.
But again, that's again to this movie's credit is. That's real. Like
the detail,
that's that small like detail that they had.
The blades of grass are kind of were hairy and
slimy a little bit too. And, They had like that almost like that color that it looks like a snail went over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that kind of iridescent like sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that part of this movie is so cool. Like it really is two different movies, and. When you're taking the whole family dynamics thing and, it's the man tied to his work and then you just throw this cool
adventure.
It's
an adventure.
New set, right?
Yeah.
That it's just kind of makes it great. And I think, I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but the sequels, I think it kind of missed that magic that this movie had with it really being like, this is a story about relationships. Not about people being shrunk.
Right.
This is a story about, families and that kind of stuff. And, but yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if people like the reason they like it, maybe they're not paying attention to that part of it, but that is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just an overall good story. And I remember as a kid, for me, it was all about the shrinking.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, when I'm watching this, I'm like, man, this is really good.
Yeah.
And, but the whole, when they finally cut through the bag and they go into the backyard.
Yeah.
That was so cool. and they see it all for the first time. But again, as a kid, looked fun, especially when you got to that giant cookie.
Yeah.
They were eating that cookie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
That little oatmeal. What was those things called? Little Debbie's? No.
What was the snack? It wasn't an Oreo, was it?
It wasn't an Oreo.
No,
it was like one of those ginger.
We see the box.
Yeah, you do see the box later. I think it's Little Debbie or whatever.
Something. It's probably a trivia question. Didn't pay attention.
But yeah, so good.
The ant thing was kind of campy, making friends with the ant, because ant's not gonna, communicate with the kids, but it's still fun.
You don't know that? Maybe. Ants are smart.
Oh, you think it's plausible? You think it's possible?
Maybe.
Okay, you went with it.
Okay, I was 8 years old.
All right.
And so let's talk about this for a little bit. Let's talk about
ants.
No.
What?
Let's talk about movies that traumatize children as a kid.
Okay.
Or children. Were there any movies you remember growing up that just absolutely like traumatized you?
Yes.
What was it?
Okay, it was on TV, and I think it's called The Thing with Two Heads.
Now, is this made for kids?
No.
Okay.
Oh, are we talking about?
I'm talking about movies that are made for kids that traumatize them.
Well, let me go back. It was that movie where it was like Rosie Greer, and he gets his head sewn onto another guy, and they show the whole operation of them removing a head and sewing it onto another guy's body, and so it's this body with two heads. That freaked me out as a kid. I think it's called The Thing with Two Heads.
Thing with Two Heads.
Because in my mind, I was a kid, so I really thought like they actually removed. Because I wasn't thinking special effects movies, and I was thinking they really took this guy's head off and sewed it onto this other guy. Oh my God, freaked me out.
So
But anyways, going back to kid movies though.
Right. So I can remember, I watch, one of the greatest joys I have in my life is showing kids, my kids, the movies that I loved. Right.
Right.
Or just even movies. And, my wife isn't always, excited for the movies that I show them, or even, how do you say, like, she's allowed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, I'm like watching these things and I'm like, they'll be all right. They're kids. And I'm thinking, where did I get that from? Then I realize the stuff that I watched as a kid has prepared me for my whole life of just having to deal with loss and having to deal with like the good, like every story needs a loss. Every story needs to propel characters. And I can talk about, probably the first one that just wrecked me is Neverending Story with Artax, the horse, getting sunk. You get to see this horse get sunk into the nothingness, into the sorrow of sadness. Littlefoot's mom dying in Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Super sad. And watching Littlefoot had to like be by himself. And then you've got Auntie. You've got this beloved aunt that these kids, find. And not only that, the freaking aunt saves them, sacrifices himself, and then you have to watch the thing die.
And it's brutal. He gets stabbed by the scorpion.
And he's a baby ant.
Yeah.
He wasn't an adult. And I can remember being a kid, and I can remember specifically being in that theater, feeling kind of sick, and also feeling like just trying to hold it together not to cry because, but it was rough as a kid to see that Auntie die. And, yeah.
Wow.
But no, I don't know why movies did that back then. But I think like I said, I'm better for it.
Well, I mean, you think of like kids' stories and old nursery rhymes. I mean, a lot of those things just dealt with death and monsters and stuff.
It propels the story. It propels the hero forward, right?
Yeah.
Like you need that stuff to happen.
Yeah. A little bit of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's interesting, and I don't know if this has to do with it, but is also, in that scene, Auntie dies, and as a kid, you feel that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that the bond that he had. And I can remember like thinking to myself, I'm never going to kill another aunt again. I remember just being wrecked by that scene. And I think that, you needed that for the rest of the story. But did you know that in the original script there was a fifth kid, and that the fifth kid was supposed to die.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Right.
They couldn't do that.
So yeah, apparently, Disney stepped in and be like, can't do that.
There's no way.
But I guess I don't know. So I don't know. I'm speculating here.
Yeah.
That I wonder if the whole auntie thing kind of took the place of that. Like something needed to die to bond these characters further.
It's not enough that she almost drowned.
Not enough that she almost drowned.
Almost get chopped up in a lawnmower. No, not enough.
No, not get wrapped up in the bee.
I can't believe they would actually have a kid that died.
I guess, yeah. Like I said, Stuart Gordon, man, he's a horror guy. He wrote it. So I don't know whose decision or when that.
Well, did he write it thinking it was for Disney, or did he just wrote it?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know where.
Because I could see it if he didn't write it for Disney, where you would want to include something like that. Because
my guess is he didn't.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like that was the compromise. Like, well, you can't have a kid die.
No, we can't.
It'd be ridiculous. This is Disney.
Yeah,
you can have a mom die. You can have a dad die. You can have a pet die.
You can imply something, but yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. Well, how about an ant? They're fine.
Kids, they kill ants all the time.
Yeah, kids kill ants all the time.
Squish them, magnifying glass. No problem. Kill the ant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that then it solidified their bond, because then like the next scene they're all like sleeping together in the one Lego. Yeah. They're not separate.
Yeah.
And then another thing I noticed too is then all of a sudden they had all this like contraptions around the Lego, and it made me wonder, like, were they there multiple nights, or was that just
contraptions around?
There's like little like stick. I don't know if it was like alarms or like little things for if another bug came through, but yeah, watch it again. They built stuff around the Lego thing.
The sun is like a.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure, like.
Yeah, because the kid's like an inventor kid. He probably did. I bet they cut that from the film. Like, he's the inventor kid, so he's going to set up booby traps around.
Yeah.
To protect them from the scorpion.
It just looks like it was a lot.
Yeah.
And it was already night. They were already asleep when the scorpion came.
Yeah.
It's like they just kept going.
Yeah.
Anyways, real quick, what I liked too about this movie was the kind of the practical inventions that Selinsky had, like the whole communicator.
Oh yeah.
Which is like texting now, right? But just like, I'll be down, in a minute.
Yeah.
Or it's like they spelled minute wrong or something. And then then the lawnmower, the remote control lawnmower.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering to myself, why isn't that a thing in the year 2024? Why do we not have remote control lawnmowers?
Don't they have like Roomba lawnmowers now? Like
they do?
I think so.
Dude, I have not seen that. But your like Roomba should be getting in on that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I've not heard of that.
Because you wouldn't even think it'd be like a safety thing too. Like lawnmowers always have like all this safety stuff. If you could just remote control it and operate it remotely, it's even safer, right?
Yeah.
And
I like how like he Nick, how he pretty much conned his friend.
Oh yeah.
And like, if I was Nick's friend, like, you wouldn't have to con me. I'd just do it.
Yeah.
Because it's so cool.
Right.
But for him, he's just like, I'm gonna go do something else.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I would hope to
watching it. I was thinking there's got to be like a list of things like he invented that now exist. Like texting and
right.
There must have been other stuff.
He had that something weird with the phone too. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't like connected.
He had it was like a finger. It was like a mechanical finger that like released the thing.
Yeah.
Or it was hooked up to like a voice
voice thing. So I don't know.
Amplifier.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
So it was almost as like speakerphone before speakerphone was a thing.
What was the cat? The cat on the cat clock would like meow for some reason. Remember that? And then you sacrifice a cat clock at the end to fix the machine.
I don't remember that at all. Man, I hope that wasn't a trivia.
Yeah, because the cat was like, oh, meow. I was like,
that's right. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But it was just a clock, but it did say meow.
Yeah.
Or was that the doorbell? Maybe it was the
doorbell.
It
was the...
Or the phone ring thing. I don't know. I just remember that as a gag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic film.
Yeah, it holds up.
It holds up.
My copy didn't hold up though.
No, so this is you got that DVD.
I got the
I do
DVD.
not own this film. I had to watch it on Disney Plus,
But you probably saw a nice clean copy.
I did. It was really nice. You check that out. However, this is an out of print movie, so if any of you have this at home on Blu-ray with the yellow border, and you just want to give it to me, that'd be nice. But if you want to sell it on eBay, you'd probably get like $100 for it, maybe even more, 130.
Isn't that crazy? It's out of print.
It's out of print. Can't find it.
It's popular. It was popular enough to do a second movie.
A third movie.
And a third, but the third was like straight to video,
and
right?
an attraction.
And an attraction at Disneyland.
And a cartoon. There's a cartoon. Oh, and a TV show.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there was a TV show. Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, a TV show. All different actors.
And yet it's out of print.
And yet it's out of print.
There should be like
That's because
there should be like a steel box edition of this movie, right?
no one in 2024, other than us, is probably talking about this amazing film. And that's why we do what we do, because we want to talk about some of these movies that we think
You gotta
see.
You gotta see. People are just skipping it. They're thinking,
Yeah. And I think there's people my age, your age, that have seen it and probably seen it a lot. But there's a whole generation now that have probably never heard it. And people are like, oh, yeah, I don't want to watch that movie again because I don't want to start crying about Auntie.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That sounds dumb.
Yeah, no, it's a great film.
It's a great movie.
And,
and if you're a fan of 50 sci-fi stuff, give it a watch.
It's got it all. It's got it all.
Yeah.
So
great movie.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, I got some movie magic.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Shoot, let's go.
It's not really related to this film, but it's related to one of the sequels.
Is it Batman? Okay.
It's not Batman. Okay, as you know, they did the second one is, I got physical media here.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Honey,
oh, man, that's a collector's item. You still have it all wrapped up in cellophano. And
I just haven't watched it yet.
I
But
know.
Honey, I
Probably
Blew
never
Up
will.
the Kid. Originally titled Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
Oh, and how would you know that?
That's because I worked on the film.
Ah, oh, nice.
Was able to work on a few props for the movie.
Okay.
There's a scene in the movie where a kid picks up Nick and his girlfriend, or wannabe girlfriend, in a car, and here's the car.
That's the car.
Well, okay.
It's a model of the car.
It's a model of the car. Okay, so...
That Geostorm?
No, it's a Lotus.
Oh.
Oh, I should know the make and model and everything. It is a Lotus.
It's far from a Geostorm.
Okay. There were 3 different sizes made for the kid because there was the baby, the small kid, they had to handle a car, which was this size. And then they had a little bit of an older kid, which handled this car.
Oh, wow.
For the older kid, and still got the wiring hanging out with the headlights. And then there was a third size, which a guy with baby hands, he flew the car around.
Oh, when it was like, ooh.
Yeah. There was a shot where they were down the Vegas Strip, and there was I think it was the cowboy sign.
Yeah.
And the boot.
Pioneer.
Yeah, and he had to set it on top of that. And that was a larger scale one. But, yeah, so we made a few items for it. Not a lot, but
that's
fun.
cool.
Yeah. There's a little Nick and Mandy inside there. And the lights work, and it's all detailed on the bottom and everything, because the kid's like, flying it around and stuff. So there you go. Little movie magic.
Wow. So was a sequel movie you got to see?
No. I mean, it's fun.
I don't think I think I've only seen the movie one time.
Okay, what do you remember?
Honestly,
You were like, this stunk, right? No. What do you think?
I'm ashamed to admit this. The only thing I remember about that movie is it was the girl that was in the movie.
Yeah, the Mandy. The Nick's love interest.
It was Carrie Russell, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, I do remember too. Like they built like a giant playpen for him or something in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had and then they had like a guy in a big baby suit run around for to make him look like he got bigger. It looked kind of weird.
It did look weird.
Yeah. And there was some funny stuff in it. Oh, the hard rock guitar when he takes the sign and he yanks it out of the ground. I worked on that too. Yeah. Yeah, a few different props. Yeah. But yeah, you just like, yeah. Well, how old were you when you saw it though?
I mean, I was older. I mean, when was that movie when that movie came out?
I don't remember. It's not on here, huh? I don't know.
I'm gonna guess 1994, 5.
Close. 92.
92.
Yeah, it wasn't a total stinker, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like the first one. You know what I mean? It's watchable.
Lightning in a bottle.
It's watchable. It's got some funny moments in it, but overall, not
great.
I wouldn't say run out and see it.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids, we watched this. We've seen this movie before, and they watched it again with me last night.
You should sit.
And they asked about like, oh, we should watch the next ones. And I'm like,
Well, just sit them down with it. Just
let's watch Trimmers instead.
set them down and have them watch it. I'll even loan this to you. I'll let you open the wrapper. Look at. I'm not saying you have
Let's
to
watch it on Disney Plus.
I'm saying okay.
Keep it in that cellophane.
But I'm saying
I
really am curious.
All right.
Sit them down to watch it. You don't have to watch. I'm just curious what they think.
All right. I'm thinking
You're not
these
gonna do
movie
it.
challenges are going to be a real
You're not
thing.
gonna
So I
do
might just accept your challenge. And
I really
and
want to
then
see what they think.
Later on, you'll accept one of mine.
One of them's going to say, "Dad, that was really awful," and then the other two, I don't know which ones, are going to say, "Oh, it was funny."
You know, I don't know.
I bet.
I don't know if there've been any movies that my kids have ever said like, "Oh, that wasn't good." There's been movies that they probably watched that are one and done and say, "Oh yeah, I liked it," but never like, I didn't like that movie. So
No, okay, but
maybe.
the third one, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
I don't even think I've ever seen that one.
That one's kind of unwatchable.
Yeah.
It's not good, and it went straight to video, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I remember seeing the show, and I do remember. I mean, I did the attraction at Disneyland,
And that was cool.
that was really cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I don't remember that much about it. I know like you got shrunk, and then like everybody on the screen got bigger, but then like the seating would shake, right?
Right. It was full immersive, and I remember thinking like, oh man, this is really cool.
It worked pretty good.
Yeah.
That's funny because I don't remember that much. I just remember it was good.
I remember him picking up the audience.
Maybe that's what it was
At one point.
So it really
showing
it felt like you were being picked up.
So yeah, you felt like you were picked up, and then it was showing us on camera.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, and then the dog sneezes on you, and
the
it's
dog
gross.
sneezes on us.
Oh, the dog sneezes and you get wet. Wasn't there a thing with rats? Like they release rats into the audience, and then you felt like the rats like
you could feel like running on your
like
feet.
their tails were were like you're hitting your ankles or something.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
That's better than third movie.
Yeah. It was like the real, being in a real movie. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the trivia battle. I'm tired of holding on to this Duke. I think it's time it gets passed to you.
I might get it because I really was not paying attention to possible trivia questions.
I think all these questions are going to be hard. And
there's some easy ones. There's some hard ones.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
You're the defending champ, so you get to decide who goes first.
Trivia battle.
Oh, I get to decide? I want to go first.
Okay.
I don't know why.
No, you probably should.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first question. What is Amy holding in her hand while she's on the phone at the beginning of the movie?
What, you know this?
No, but I do remember I was gonna make a point to like how like timely this movie was, like the whole idea of like her being on the phone and getting wrapped up in the cord.
Yeah,
like, that's not a thing anymore.
I did notice that though. It's like she's on the phone with a big long cord, and she's holding a cooking utensil. I have no idea what she's holding. What's she holding? I'll go for the steel.
Well, no, was it? He says your answer was cooking utensil?
Cooking utensil, a wooden spoon. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, if you're going to say cooking utensil, I need a specific one.
Oh, so it really was. Oh, I could actually get this then. She was holding a spatula. She was holding a spatula because she was going to make eggs or something. She was holding a metal spatula.
That is correct. She was holding a spatula.
Oh, wow. So I went with my intuition of cooking.
All right. My question.
All right. Next question. What is the first insect that the kids see once they get out of the garbage bag and into the yard?
It was a dead beetle.
let's say live insect.
Oh my gosh. See, you do this to me every time. You ask a question and I answer it, and then you're like, well, no, let me change the parameters of the question.
We see a lot of dead insects. Which is the first living insect?
Oh, living insect.
Oh, it was like a butterfly or a moth.
That is correct.
Okay.
It was a butterfly.
Be specific, butterfly or moth.
Butterfly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew it was a butterfly, but I remember when we watched it, my kids were like, oh, Mothra. I'm like,
Mothra.
heck yeah.
Right.
But Mothra's a moth.
I don't even have a piece of
Yeah.
paper.
All right.
All right. So next question is a follow-up to the previous question.
Ooh.
According to Nick, how big was the wingspan of the butterfly relative to their size? He says it.
No, he does say it,
Yeah.
and I didn't pay attention. I'm just going to guess. 42 feet.
That is correct.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
42 feet. That's a 42-foot wingspan.
That number just popped into my head. It must have popped in there watching it.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. Okay, next question.
If I was writing a script, 42 would be the number that would
You would just throw out
it would
there.
sound right.
It'd sound right, yeah.
42 feet.
Okay, next question.
Looks like you're keeping the Duke.
What appliance?
You get lucky with stuff like that.
Yeah.
What appliance does Wayne use as a counterbalance while he's hanging, searching for the kids?
It was a TV.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
It was a television. A Zenith.
I think you'd pick something not so expensive, like the TV.
You know what it was? And this is the only reason I
That's funny,
remembered
though.
it. Is because I think he wouldn't value it. He's a man of science.
Oh,
So
that's
he wouldn't
true.
value the TV,
Yeah.
right? So
And it's probably just a black and white TV, never upgraded, because why would you?
why would
He
you?
doesn't watch TV. He doesn't have
No,
time
we're
for
too
TV.
busy tinkering.
Yeah.
We're too busy changing the world.
Yeah. All right.
All right, this might be the hardest question.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is 2-2.
Okay, so
This is a good one. This is a good battle.
Uh-oh. Okay.
what do the Thompsons have in their attic?
Hey, what do the Thompsons have in their attic?
It's a really quick line when they're trying to explain to the Thompsons what happened to their kids.
Hanukkah decorate.
Yeah, I was going to say Hanukkah decorations.
And the dad is basically yelling at Wayne. And he says, "We have a blank in our attic."
We have a blank in our attic?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got a shrink ray in his. Well, I have a blank in my attic.
All right. If I was writing a script,
You're right.
what would be in the attic that would be funny that the kids would not think is cool?
I don't want to give any more hints.
Don't give no more hints. I don't know. I'm not going to know either.
I don't know.
But you have to guess.
Okay, wait. Now I will give a
Because
hint,
I'm
since
gonna wait.
You guys
until-
both don't know.
No, wait, no. I'm waiting. He has to
Oh,
answer.
okay.
And then I'll have a guess. And if
Okay.
we both don't know, then
We have a mannequin in our. I don't know.
Okay, is that your?
That's
your
my answer. A
Okay,
mannequin.
okay.
Yeah. All right. No.
taking that off the list of guesses that I'm about to say.
Really, that was on. You really had that as a
no,
guess? Oh.
but at least I can narrow it down to
Alright.
non-mannequin things.
Well, I was thinking like one of those closed mannequins. Like
I'm gonna say we have a. Gosh. We have a. What would you keep in an attic that would be funny?
I don't know.
That's the question.
It's not funny. It's not a funny thing.
Yeah, but it has to be funny. I mean,
Old
like-
clothes.
No.
It's a single item,
You're
though.
barking up the wrong tree. It has to do with the context of why he brings it up. Because obviously Wayne has a shrink ray in his attic,
Yeah.
which is like a thing he's building. In the Thompson's attic, he says, "Well, I have an air hammer in my attic." He has an air hammer. He was just talking about a tool, just a random thing.
But even that's dumb. Why would you have an air hammer in the attic? It'd
I
be
don't
in the
know.
Because he has a
garage.
garage. They
Yeah.
go in the garage.
That's a dumb line.
Yeah, but basically, he's threatening him.
Is
He's
the air
he's
hammer
"I'm
just
gonna
like
break
an
you."
impact drill? Like, what is the air hammer?
I think it's just a pneumatic hammer, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Just like all.
No,
Weird.
it's like a little ratcheting. Like,
Oh,
kinda
okay,
like
so-
yeah.
But yeah, that's what he has in his attic is an air hammer.
All right. Well, that's a bummer.
Okay, so
Wow.
no one got that one.
Nope.
No steal, no get, but this does give me the chance to go 3-2.
All right,
Okay.
next question.
All right.
What number is on the flag on the remote control
4.
for lawnmower?
Oh.
That is correct.
I
It's
knew
4.
that.
Whoop. Okay. Next question. What 2 toys of Nick's are found during the kid's
This is
journey
easy. You know
through
this
the
one.
lawn?
I believe you know this one. Now, question. Before we even start, if he does not get both toys,
I want both toys.
he gets 0 points.
What do I get? Do I get a half point if I get one of the toys?
No, I want both toys. Just because one is so obvious.
Well, one's a Lego.
Yes.
I'm thinking. Oh man, what else did they see? And it would have been giant, right?
Yes.
Are you hinting at it by touching the
No.
car there? You're trying to mess me up. You're trying to make me say Batmobile, toy car,
Toy car?
toy car. Can't be a toy car. It'd be huge. See, I just have to guess now, and I don't know.
This is what happens when you watch the movie and you don't pay attention to it.
You landed and watched it.
I didn't fully land and watch it.
Okay.
Not fully. We do have a new dog, so she was kind of
Oh.
distracting. I was playing with the dog.
Should have named the dog Quark.
I like that dog. Quark's cool.
Quark's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Does he not know? Are you going to just pass? Or,
I'm
'cause
gonna
I'm ready to
pass.
answer.
I don't know.
Okay. So Lego
Yes.
and giant dinosaur.
Yes.
Oh,
the
the
toy
dinosaur, that's
dinosaur.
right.
You see it, it's like one of the first things they
Yes,
see.
and you look up at it, and it's like dun dun dun.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
Of course, you remember the dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Next
Well,
question.
did you just move the Duke over a little bit? You did. Didn't
Well,
you?
we are getting closer.
All right. All right.
Next
Because
question.
it is now 4-2. No, 3.5 to 2. I
Yes.
got this stupid half.
I got a
points.
half point.
Which of the kids doesn't know how to whistle?
Little Russ.
Little
So
Little
easy.
Russ?
Yeah, Little Russ.
Okay. Oh yeah, because they're both named Russell.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. That is correct.
Want to be specific? You know.
Little Russ.
Yeah.
And she says, just put your lips together and blow.
Yep.
What movie is that from? That's from a movie.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay. Never mind. It's
All
from
right.
Casablanca, right? You know,
I
what it
don't
was?
know.
You know, you just put your lips together and blow. Bogart
Uh-huh.
line, right? I think it's a Bogart line from a.
That sounds familiar.
I think it's Casablanca. I think.
Hmm.
Anyways, okay.
Okay, so this is the last question.
Yeah.
While escaping the lawnmower, the kids take shelter in a tunnel made by what?
A worm.
That is correct.
Do I win?
No.
No.
That is a 4.5 to 3.
All right. You know what's crazy is like that was scary. That was the scariest possible death thing with the lawnmower blades whooping.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Well, even too, just the idea that like Wayne could have ate one of his kids.
That was even more scary. That he literally could have just chewed him up and ate him. And that's.
I mean, just think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Like if this was a different type of movie, if Disney wasn't involved, and then Wayne he's eating the Cheerios, and we all eaten things that all of a sudden you get a weird different taste,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, what is that? And you look, and it's your
Oh,
son.
That is like so
That's
bad.
horrible,
That's
right?
horrible.
You're like, that doesn't taste like milk and Cheerio,
A kid could
which is weird because all of a sudden they realize how dangerous the situation is, but they stop for breakfast. You
that
know?
was the thing I noticed the most is that they're trying to find the kids
You're right.
They know that they could, they're basically on the point of death, and they stop to eat a bowl of Cheerios.
Breakfast
I don't
first.
think I would have been able to eat anything. There's
Yeah,
no way.
breakfast first. Yeah, but that's bad. Yeah, the lawnmower would be horrible.
It would be horrible. So many
That'd be a quick death, though. That'd probably be the best death they could get out of all that.
Well, they actually go through it too.
They do go through.
No,
it.
they do go through, and
They get propelled.
I was really surprised because I thought they were going to shut it down, and then they were just going to fall down the hole. But I guess they needed a mechanism to get up and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, then the dog. They got on the dog.
Yeah.
But then getting torn apart by a scorpion, that'd be horrible. Drowning in that.
You could do a really
nasty stuff.
You can do a really gross movie based on this whole.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh man.
All right. Well, congratulations. You got the Duke back. I know you wanted it. It's crazy. It's always the movies I least suspect that I'm going to win. So didn't think, but I did. Anyway, so final thoughts on the film.
Wait, you're throwing me. Wait, did you win?
Yes, I won.
But I just got the last one right. What's the score?
It was 4.5 to 3.
Who had 3?
I still lost.
You still
Yeah,
lost.
you still lost.
Snuck me. I thought because I got caught up in the whole like.
That's rough. You actually thought you won. That I could see where that's rough. Anyways,
I thought that one put me over the top.
No.
And when did you move this? During the whole discussion of the.
Well, I
of the
finally
death
moved it
thing?
on when I realized that it's over. I won.
I'm sorry, my mind just went towards the whole death thing.
Yeah.
And all right, take it. I'm putting it over here.
All right. What are your ranking and final thoughts?
Ranking and final thoughts. My ranking is an 8.5. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not an all-time favorite, but a really good one.
Great. Yeah.
Great movie. Final thoughts. Great movie. Rick Moranis is great, always. And Joe Johnson did a great job for his first film.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. Definitely see it.
Yeah, definitely fun. We're actually very close. I put it at 8.3. So I don't know if we've ever had a movie that was that close that we agreed with. But yeah, it's the acting, like you said, Rick Moranis, both the parents were just really great. They played their characters well.
Mm-hmm.
The kids, who we really don't ever see again in other movies.
Right.
There were a couple, early 90s movies I can remember some of these characters in, but they're, nobody, but they're iconic and they did really well in this film.
They did great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a good ride, and it was a fun movie to show my kids. And again, when my kids watched it, they just thought it was so cool. And I forgot to mention this. There's actually a video game that my kids play, and I've played right now, called Grounded, where you do shrink and you're in the backyard and you're kind of building things. It's actually really cool. So my kids have played that, and when they watched this movie, they thought it was like, oh, that'd be so cool to do. And now as an adult, I'm thinking, this is horrific. Like, I would never want this for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, this is up there with like the wastelands of Mad Max. Like,
Yeah.
there's dangers around every corner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great movie, fun movie to watch, and definitely, man, like I said, I hope to own this in my collection someday, because it definitely deserves a spot. Maybe it might go to 4K. You never know. Disney's not really good at releasing movies, but every once in a while they do. And the minute that does go to 4K, all those Blu-rays are going to be worthless. All right. Well, this was fun. Hey, if you have hung with us this far, thanks for hanging in and watching me win the trivia battle. Please like, subscribe. Let us know if what was the most traumatic movie you saw as a kid that has ruined you for life. And yeah, R.I.P. Auntie. That heart.